Oh, my Jedi friends, it is supermoon time. Supermoon! And it's time. This is an opportunity to release all of your nonsense and to reset your energy and to create a better way forward. So that's what we're going to do tonight. That is the plan. That's the plan, my friends. We are going to move forward. We're going to delete the old you and we're going to create the new one. And how does that work, Adam? How does that work? Sounds such a bold claim, doesn't it? So full moons, for those of you that know me, are an opportunity to reset your energy. They're a really powerful opportunity to reset your energy. And tonight, going on to tomorrow, is going to be a supermoon. And what is a supermoon? It's super. It is a moon that is super. That's what a supermoon is. It's actually when the moon is at its closest point to the Earth. That's a supermoon, or it's very close, which means it appears bigger and brighter. So that's what it means. But from an energy perspective, it's a real opportunity for a reset. Now, those of you that follow my content will know that I talk about the moon a lot. I talk about the lunar energy a lot. Now, I have great significance with how the moon shows up and what it does. And that's coming from somebody that worked night shifts for 10 years in a hospital. And I can tell you that when the full moons came, there were some nurses that refused to work night shifts during a full moon cycle. True story, folks. That is a true story because it was far more likely that the ward was going to go absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. And it was commonplace for me during my nursing days to go in around about 8 or 9 o'clock, depending whatever shift I was on. And around about 10 o'clock, I'd be having these perfectly normal conversations with these dear, sweet people. And by 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning, they had had a complete personality transplant. They'd woken up in a foul mood, were screaming, sometimes throwing stuff around, waking everybody up, telling them to get out of their house, get out of my house. What are you doing in my house? And it was a very confusing time for people. So full moons can create a lot of quirks in society, and I've seen it happen. I have seen it, my friends, and I've seen it at the cold face. I've seen what's full moons can do to people, especially when they're medically ill. So I've looked into the energy of moons, and of course, even the term lunar tick is to do with the full moon. And you see all the werewolf and vampire films, don't you? And it's all Bram Stokery or who turn hairy and run around forgetting things. Well, you know, people, I've seen people without sprouting the hair, but do exactly that. The full moon does strange things to people. There is no question of it, my friends. It has a very strange energy to it. And if you're not careful, it will take you up. But what we're going to do, we're going to utilize that energy tonight. We are going to harness it. Now, whether you're watching this live now or whether you're watching this on a catch-up, supermoon hits tomorrow. It hits tomorrow. But it hits during the day, so you're not going to be able to see it. So if you go out and look at the moon tonight, the odds are it will appear bigger and brighter than it is normally. And it is very significant from an energy point of view. So from an energy perspective, we want to release as much of our baggage as we can. It is about the releasing of baggage. Now, what is your baggage? How do you know what your baggage is? So if you're a healer, an empath, a starseed, a good person, you've probably spent most of your life being screwed over by people, possibly even your family, dealing with narcissistic people, dealing with difficult situations, dealing with uncompromising people. And it may be wearing you down. And you may have reached the cut-off point of enough is enough. So there is a very different energy to letting go and drawing boundaries so that you don't have to put up with bad behavior again, and cutting people off and holding the resentment. And that's what we're looking to do today, my friend. Any resentment, any bad feeling, any bad vibes, now is a great opportunity to let it go. Not because the people that screwed you over don't deserve your contempt. It's because your contempt is stopping you from manifesting something better. So this is the classic case of wanting to give someone poison but drinking it yourself. So holding on to ill will, the person that it affects the most is you. And that is why full moons are a great opportunity to say, do you know what? That's enough. I've had enough. I've learned my lessons. I'm willing to let this go. And I'm willing to let it go, not because that person deserves it, but because you deserve it. You're going to let stuff go because you deserve it. Because holding on to grudges, holding on to bad energy, holding on to revenge, to hate, to all of these things, it may seem perfectly justified. And believe me, I'm as guilty as the next person of holding on to these things in the past. But this is a great opportunity to let it go because it will help you. It will help you. It's an entirely selfish thing that you're going to do to let stuff go because you are the main beneficiary of it. And the reason for that is that when people screw you over, it's only a problem if it's a repeat pattern. If you go and make the same mistake again, okay, you got caught by a narcissist. Let's take one of the very common things that I deal with people on this channel. Got caught in a relationship with a narcissist. That's only a problem if you didn't learn from it. So from a personal point of view, you learn to identify what narcissism is. You learn to get the spidey senses for the early warning symptoms. You learn to be a lot more boundaried and ruthless around behaviors. And that is part of an evolution process. And with that in mind, every single toxic relationship you were ever in was beneficial to you. Now, I know that this is a model of the world. You're thinking, that sounds great. That sounds great, Adam, but you don't know how bad it was. You don't know how bad they are. Well, I can tell you that I've had my fair share of people that definitely don't deserve any redemption, that there's no hope for them becoming decent people. Because narcissists lack empathy, which means that they'll only be at the center of their own world. They'll only do things that are selfishly in alignment with their own energy. So if you're on the receiving end and you're holding resentment towards them, it doesn't affect them, but it does affect you. And this is why supermoons are a great opportunity to cut the cords. So what we'll do on this thread before we cut off, we will cut the cords. We will cut the cords of the negative energy. I'll take you through an energy exercise before the end of this stream that will help you to cut the cords of the negativity that you're holding on to so that you can reset your energy and create something better in this next cycle. Because this full moon, this super moon, this beaver moon, it's a super beaver moon, folks. It's a super beaver moon. Now, if this was an 80s comedy, there'd be some slapstick around that. But nonetheless, it is a beaver supermoon, super beaver moon, whatever you want to call it, my friends. But nonetheless, what you need to know from an energy perspective is this is a great factory reset opportunity. Just imagine your slow-moving computer that hardly functions anymore. It's slowed down. What if you could factory reset it and go right back to what it was before you put anything in? Now you lose everything that you've saved. But in this case, the things that you saved on your energy field is a template of how many people there are in your life that should be avoided, to hold ill will towards because of things that they've done. So we're going to drop that. That is the plan, my friends. That is the plan. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We will do a little exercise now, and I'm going to speed things up so that you can do it quickly, because cutting energy cords doesn't take long. So I'll take you through an exercise now. So if you're watching this, get yourself comfortable. If you can, it does, comfort is first. So if you're lying down, that's okay. But if you want to amplify the effect, sit with your spine upright, my Jedi friends. And what you're going to do is slow down your breathing now, because your breathing controls your mood. Okay, so as you slow down your breathing, you're going to ground yourself now. So just imagine a ball of light at the center of the earth and an energetic cord coming up, connecting the base of your spine. Now you're going to energize a stage in front of you. And you're going to invite everyone that you've ever met onto that stage. It's a big stage, folks. It's a big stage. Invite them all on. And now you're going to do your little speech. And you're going to tell everybody on that stage right now, thank you for your contribution to my life. Now it is time. We have learned our lessons, that we go our separate ways. Now, some of you might be worried, but there's people on that stage that I want to stay in touch with. Well, we reconnect afterwards, so don't worry. Don't worry about that. It's all good. We're going to disconnect all energy cords on this exercise. You're going to thank them. You're going to thank them for the contribution they've made to your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you're going to send them home with love and say goodbye. That's it. We have reached our resolution on whatever lessons that we had to teach each other. Now, if there's any unresolved lessons after this exercise, my friends, you can be sure those people will show back up in your life. So if you're thinking, hang on, I haven't resolved that yet, well, you don't need to worry. But the thing is, you're going to invite everybody, because there's people you've possibly forgot about that are holding negative energy towards you, that are stopping you from getting what you want, that you haven't yet dealt with. So we're going to cut the energy cord. What you're going to do is see, for some of you, you might want to invite Archangel Michael into this event, but I would suggest you can do it yourself. You just imagine a white light sword going all the way around your body and cutting every single energy cord that there is, disconnecting and taking back your own energy. You're going to bring in your own energy now from every source that it may have been outlying at. And you're going to breathe that in. You're taking charge of your own energy field. Because this is how it works, my friend. Any ill will or any adulation, if we put people on pedestals as well, it's the same energy. If you hold hate or resentment towards other people, that's handing your energy away. That's giving them power, which is the complete opposite of what you want for them. So this cutting the energy cords is a really powerful exercise. Take back your power. And you take back your power by not energizing the hate or the bad stuff, by energizing the lessons that you learned from being in those relationships. And that's what we're here to do today. Energize the lessons of the relationships. If it was a toxic narcissist, well, they probably helped you to put in clearer boundaries for the rest of your life. That's how it usually works with most empaths. Somebody screwed you over. Well, did you get the lesson? Are you a little bit more street smart now? Because being an empath and being a good person, being a starseed, you want to help everybody. But some people are inherently evil with no sense of empathy that prey on empaths doing good. And they'll take their money, they'll take their time, they'll take their energy. There's 100,000 different ways that you can give away your energy, but this is how we take it back. You cut the energy cords while you're on this stage, and you send back the energy that you have of anybody else's that you might have taken on board. And now you're going to picture a ball of light above your head, filling your body full of light. Your own true source energy, my Jedi friend. And there you have it. You have been energized. You have cut the cords of the negativity in your life. Now, if you do that exercise, if you did it properly, if you did it unfiltered, if you just allowed it to happen, what you'll do is you'll cut the energy cords of the stuff that's holding you back. And now you can energize the stuff that you want. Because here's how energy works, my friend. Any bitterness or any unresolved trauma in the past, you have to energize. You go through your life, you might not be energizing it now, but you'll need to energize it, you'll need to resolve it, you'll need to heal it in the future. So we need to heal future stuff in the future. So it may be unconscious, but holding on to those issues is holding you back. It's drawing the wrong energy. It's energizing the wrong things. It's energizing trauma. It's making trauma part of your soul identity. And this is how we release it. Now, this is one of the hardest things to do. I'm not going to downplay this, because sometimes things, they cut deep. And it's not as easy to just say, oh, I'll forgive them. And it's not even about forgiving them. It's about forgiving yourself. as a healer, as an empath, as a starseed, as a light worker, call it what you will, whatever of those categories you fall in. When we hold justifiable anger or rage or resentment towards people, we're the ones that get affected. You're the one that gets affected by your own resentment. And letting go of it is the key to it. And the supermoon is the amplification of that. And you are watching this for a reason. Now, even if you're watching this before, after the supermoon on this cycle, there's always a full moon cycle coming up. Every single full moon is an opportunity. Well, every day is an opportunity to release this stuff, but it is amplified over a full moon. Because from an energy perspective, it's a great time to reset your energy and to feel better. And there you have it, my Jedi friends. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. It's about energizing yourself. It's about feeling better. It's about resetting your energy. It's about pressing the factory reset button so that you can create a better you and a better way forward. And that is where it's at, my friends. That's where it's at. And that is the message of the full moon. That is the full moon message, my Jedi friends. It is a time to revitalize, reset, and energize positives. So after you've released all of that toxic energy that we've just talked about, now it's an opportunity to start focusing on what you want more of. Is it happiness? Is it love? Is it money? Is it light? Is it spirituality? Is it energy? Is it better health? Whatever it is, set the intention right now. Set the intention, my Jedi friends, because you are a Jedi. You can energize this stuff. Because from an energy perspective, if you don't know what you want, if you're not energizing something positive, you don't know what you do want, you get more of what you don't want. And this is the difference between moving towards something and moving away from something. And if you don't have something to energize to move yourself towards, then you'll get lots more of the stuff that you're moving away from. Because all you are is drifting around, not really focused on anything, and then suddenly getting burned, and then you move away from stuff. So if happiness is your goal, and happiness is a good goal, some could argue that chasing happiness is probably not a great goal, because finding peace in the middle is a better goal. But nonetheless, by moving towards things that make you happy or content or zen, or they make you feel in flow. Flow is the state that we're looking for. That's how you know. That's how you know you've hit it, my friends, that state of flow. And it's that state where time just passes, where you go in, you're having a conversation with a friend, and before you know it, like you've lost 3 hours. And you're like, where did the time go? That's flow. You're doing something, piece of artwork, bit of writing, painting, whatever it is. Suddenly, you've lost a couple of hours. You didn't even notice it happen. That's a state of flow. And flow is the goal. Flow is the goal that we want to achieve, because that's where it can all be found. That, my friends, is energy for you. You find it through flow, things that put you in flow. And if you're unsure what that is, ask yourself, when was the last time I remember being in a state of flow, where I lost track of time? I looked at my watch or looked at the clock and thought, wow, where did those last few hours go? They're the things to energize, my friends. Because when you're in a state that becomes timeless, it shows you that you are showing up exactly the way that you want to show up. You're doing what you need to be doing. You're not tracking time anymore. It's the complete opposite to those jobs that you go in and you're checking the clock all day. You don't like the job. What time is it? When can I get home? That is the opposite energy of what we're talking about here. This is doing stuff that you love, and it's work, and you can't believe it. You can't believe your luck, because it's stuff that you love to do. So knowing or discovering or finding out what you love to do is a big part of the equation here, my friends. So whatever you stick in your timeline, whatever it is you're looking to attract, whatever energy you want to put out there, You've got to know what you want more of. This is an opportunity to do it. So this has been one of very few lives I've gone through it without a single comment. So I've either hypnotized everyone into this energy exercise, or there's just no questions, or there's no interest, one or the other. It's one of those. It's one of those, my Jedi friends. So I won't speculate which one it is. I will just call it a day on the on this particular thread, because this shorter video, it means that more people are likely to watch it and to get energy and to reset for the supermoon. And if you are still watching, leave a comment, put it up there. You know, there's nothing better than putting it out there, sharing what you want. What is it you're going to be attracting? What have you learned? What do you need to let go of? Commit to letting it go. And that will bring you more energy. So I hope you've enjoyed this little live stream. I hope you enjoyed this full moon tonight. Hopefully you'll get out and see it. It's a super moon, a super beaver moon, my friends. The super beaver. Never knock the super beaver moon, because you never know what it might bring if you set your energy in the right way. And that feels like an appropriate sign off, my friends. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your supermoon, and enjoy your factory reset for whatever it is that you're going to attract next. And let me know what that is.